So first I'd like to bring up Simon Kilmurray. He's the Executive Director of IDA, which will be our conversation this evening. Of course, welcoming Lysa Heslov, Director of the film. I'm very, very pleased to invite up now Nicole Allred, Marissa Strock, and Hope Garcia.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Gosh, in these dark days, it's actually so good to see an inspiring film of people actually making a positive change in the world. So I want to thank you all for being here and congratulate you all on sharing these incredible stories. Lysa, let me start with you. How did you first find out about Miss Veteran America and Final Salute and introduce yourself to them to make the film?
I was having lunch with a friend. I was interested in getting back into producing, certainly not directing. And she was a journalist. She spent a lot of time in Afghanistan, and I was looking for something sort of like kind of out of anybody's wheelhouse. And she said, you know, there's a Miss Veteran America competition. I was like, oh my God, that's it. And the next day I was on the phone, so.
And had you been aware of the issue of homelessness amongst women veterans?
Never.
Okay.
I mean, I thought of a veteran, a homeless veteran, who's a man pushing a shopping cart, who was mentally ill. I had no idea. And then when I started discovering this, I was horrified and embarrassed. I was just so embarrassed as an American. Yeah.
So how did you introduce yourself to the organization and convince them to give you access and convince these women to participate in this movie?
It took a while. But I think I connected with Jazz Major Booth right away. And there was some kind of trust, and then it just started building. But it was definitely a process of building trust and just doing what I said I was going to do, basically.
I'm going to stand up so I can see you guys. Can I ask you the same question from your perspective? When Lysa first came to you and said, we want to make a documentary about you, about this issue, what was your impression? Marissa, do you want to go first?
I was hesitant at first, frightened, I guess, for my family and my friends to experience what I had been through, because I had protected them from it for so long, and wanting to make sure that our stories were told without making us look like victims. And I think it was a huge success, but thank you.
Cool.
When Lysa first reached out to me, my first initial feeling was, no way in hell. No way in hell. I'm going to share personal, intimate details of my life and my daddy's life with anybody. And I just knew if I could trust anybody with that and to tell it in a genuine, beautiful manner, it would be Lysa.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We went down some really dark alleys together.
What was the experience like for you at the beginning, and how did Lysa win your trust?
I think I was one of the first people she talked to.
Mm-hmm.
I opened up like a book. She connected with me like really easily, and that I was willing to open up to her. She's a very genuine woman, and I was willing to tell my story.
I want to ask you, all as veterans, why is it, do you think, that we hadn't really heard about this issue previously? We hear about, the struggles of male veterans coming back and also struggling with homelessness, but we don't hear these stories until this.
I think that's one of the reasons why we're all so passionate about jazz and Miss Veteran America and Final Salute Inc. Lysa stated she was ashamed to admit it as an American. And as a female veteran, I had no idea. I had no idea my sisters were struggling until the Miss Veteran America competition. And when I found out, that's when we started becoming passionate about it as well.
I think it kind of comes from the fact that, and I've said it for a long time, that, Americans aren't ready or used to seeing women coming back from war broken or missing limbs or in coffins draped in flags. And so they're certainly not ready to open their eyes and see the things that come along with the injuries and the war zone experiences and other things like that.
There's also another step to that. It's not necessarily that our women that are serving downrange, I myself didn't serve downrange, oftentimes women are too proud. We're very proud, and we don't want people to know our situations because we have children. We don't want other people to know that we are homeless. We don't want people to know that we're suffering, that we're going through a divorce, that we're having problems with our loved ones. We want to hide that information from other people. So we don't want people to know that we're going to WIC. We don't want people to know that we have to get food stamps. So we don't let the VA know that we need help. And that's the biggest part of that 55,000 women. It's not necessarily the ones that serve downrange. It is those women that actually get out of the military that had issues while they were in, and they have to come back home from deployment and they lose their husband, or they lose their children to their in-laws, or even their own parents because they had to go abroad for 6 months or a year, and now they're coming back to losing their family. It's those individuals that are sitting on the sidewalks with no family, and no one knows about this because they're too proud.
Thank you. No.
In the film, it talks about the disparity of access to services, and I think actually Jazz mentioned this in a previous Q&A, which I had seen. The male veterans, the access to services from the VA or other support services is that much more readily available than it is for women veterans. Is that changing at all, or how have you experienced that?
I think it just depends on what VA you go to. And I've been to a lot of different VAs, and there's some of them where I personally, as a female veteran, a woman veteran, did not receive the care that I deserved. The one that I go to now, my local VA, is fantastic, and I think it just has to do with what VA it is, and not a lot of VAs do offer help for women veterans and their special needs, but I would say it just depends on what VA you go to.
What about other transition services when people are coming home? Is there any other support that's available, or is it you're discharged and you're out there?
I don't know. I had no transitional help at all.
What is a transitional service?
Okay.
Yeah.
I got blown up in November of 2005. They completely neglected my head injury, gave me no instruction on what I was supposed to do. Treated the amputation because that was the focus, what you could see, and then tested the TBI for 3 days in a closet, and then put me out of the military. So that's basically it. And they said, here's your VA check. See you later, bye.
And I was a mechanic in the military, and I was deployed to Iraq, and a job that no other woman on Fort Stewart had. I was in charge of an M88A1, and I was in charge of 6 soldiers. When I got out of the military, I applied for jobs that were in my career field, and even jobs at the lowest level, sweeping floors and changing oil, and I was told for every single position I applied for that I did not qualify.
Wow. That's shocking. It shouldn't be surprising, but yeah, it's ridiculous. There's that wonderful scene which I want to ask you about, of you meeting your mother again, and her coming to the hotel room. Can you tell us, how did that feel in that moment for you? And did you have any inkling this was going to happen?
I had no clue. I was told I was getting champagne. That's the only thing I was told. So I was like, oh, the door. So I was like, oh, excited, like, I'm getting a bottle of champagne. Yes. So I was expecting a bottle of champagne, but I had no clue. I remember Lysa had mentioned to me something about maybe if you could ever find your mom, would that be an awesome thing? And I was like, I would love to have an opportunity to speak to my mom again, even just talk to her on the phone, because we had lost paths a while ago. So when I opened that door, and I was looking straight, like I was literally looking straight, so I did not see her out of the corner of my eye, and I'm like looking straight, and I saw the camera, and I'm like, and so when I turned, I was like, are you kidding? Like I was just in complete shock, and I at first I was like, pardon my language, are you shitting me? She's like standing there, and I didn't really know how to take it in. I mean, not seeing her in so many years, I was so numb. So at first, it was so hard for me to just encompass the fact that she was there, and I was just in awe, and I couldn't stop crying.
Mm-hmm. Lysa, tell us about the behind the scenes of that. How did you get in contact with Hope's mom?
Oh, well, Hope asked me to find her, and I said I would, and I did, and she really wanted to reconnect with Hope, and we wanted to film it, and Cindy became a member of our family, and I was terrified because I didn't know what was going to happen. You know, when the door opened, I had no idea. And so I think I was hiding in the corner and just kind of had my eyes closed and just like, was hoping for the best. Having no idea what was going to happen.
Documentary filmmakers like to think that they have something of a distance with their subjects, but you've clearly built up an extremely strong and intimate bond with them. Was that expected, unexpected? How did that, it feels like your family now.
We are. I mean, they are my heroes. They know it. They raised their right hand and said, I'll die for you. So, and we laugh a lot, and we get really filthy, and
they were very filthy outside. They'd be much more quiet in here.
I did hear the other day that there was actually some video of us at like 2 in the morning, and Hope ripped off your leg and started beating you.
Did you get it on film?
Oh my God.
Oh my God, well, you have to do that.
I have it on my phone.
That's very censored.
It's from South by Southwest.
Yeah. We were all together.
The after party. It was the release. It was us all letting go of the week of all of the emotions that were involved in that week and the stress.
I sang Wrecking Ball to her leg.
Yes.
So talk about that week. I'm really curious. It's South by Southwest. It's a great festival.
Yeah.
It was your premiere. You had all the women there.
Yeah.
Talk about what was that experience like for all of you?
incredible. It was amazing.
Go ahead.
That was all of us coming back together again and being able to celebrate SXSW, being able to celebrate Lysa's success, being able to celebrate our sisterhood and our love for each other in this film and what we have done for homeless women veterans. It was amazing. It's undescribable.
You are so, I love you so much.
Well, how was it for you at Sci-Fi with the premiere of the film?
Besides 2 a.m. in the morning, which we're not supposed to be talking about. Oh gosh, I thought this was supposed to be censored. Really? It was unbelievable. It was great to connect with all the girls being together. And just enjoying all of us in one spot again was unbelievable, because the sisterhood that we created is unlike anything else. When you put veterans together, especially from all different branches, that's an understatement, because we all call each other something different when we're not together. Chair force, thank God Denise is not here right now. I mean, they call sailors all the different bad names in the book you can think of. I'm not gonna say anything about the Army because they're right here. I'm gonna keep my comments to myself.
Don't make me take my leg off.
That thing is kind of heavy.
Okay, we will be in big trouble if she takes her leg off.
That's when the party starts.
That's when the party starts.
My heel won't get very far from here. Just saying, MP against MP, we'll have a problem.
All right, this isn't gonna happen.
But the camaraderie we created is unlike anything else, because Miss Veteran America, like Jazz has said over and over again, and the way Marissa has created as a host for the actual program in itself just shows you what kind of sisterhood Final Salute Miss Veteran America has created. And then the way Lysa was able to capture this in the film just shows you what these veterans can do and what it means as a sisterhood in itself. And us together at South by Southwest, you can't even explain it. You can't even explain that we are not just sisters as veterans, we're not just sisters with the film, but we are now like a core family. And Lysa's now just considered, what did you say? I'm not served like a girl, I can't serve like a girl? Is that what you said?
All I know
I'm
is that she's stuck with us.
Huh?
All I know is that she's stuck with us.
Yeah, that too.
Jesus, please help me. For I have sinned.
I really don't think Lysa knew what she was getting into when she started this
Clearly,
film.
yeah. I'm going to open up this to the audience in just a minute, but I've just one last question, which any of you can take, or all of you can take, whatever you want. I mean, if this is about service. This film's about service. It's about your service. It's about also your service for your fellow veterans. And if there's one thing that you could tell audience members who see this in theaters or at home, what can they do? How can they also be of service for these issues? What would you recommend that they do?
FinalSaluteInc.org. It's
FinalSaluteInc.org.
So the whole movie is about us competing in or hosting or being a part of Miss Veteran America, and Miss Veteran America benefits Final Salute. And Final Salute is, as far as I know, is the first of its kind who helps homeless women or women who are in danger of becoming homeless and their children to either get off the street or stay off the street. My house caught on fire a couple years ago, and I was homeless for about a month. And if it hadn't been for Final Salute, I have no idea what I would have done, because my insurance company decided about a month in that they were like, we're no longer paying for your hotel. Find a place to go or figure it out. So, just one of the many things that they do.
They do have a home in Virginia, correct?
Yes.
Where they house 10 families. 10 families, not just the women, but the families. But they also help women that could be on possible eviction in their families, which means like if you're about to get evicted and you need that 1 month rent to keep you in your home, they will help you get that 1 month rent. And they're not asking for you to pay it back, but they will give you that 1 month rent to keep you in your home. And these are the things that women need. It's sometimes just that 1 month, that we need. So when people donate to Final Salute Inc., that helps. It's $25 a day can help one family. And that's
They
what
helped you, that's why.
Yeah, they help me.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's why they're amazing. Because they
yeah,
helped you.
I was not only was I homeless during the time of the filming, but I also was reaching eviction again after the filming. And Jazz was right there to help me, and she got me out of eviction. And this was before I got my children back. So I'm letting you know, this is one company, one nonprofit organization that can do wonders for veterans. If you want to help, this is the one place you can start for women
You guys sound like
veterans.
it's starting to sound like a
This is not an ad campaign.
telethon.
This is not a telethon, and this is not an ad campaign. I'm being serious.
It's
So,
starting to sound like a Jerry Lewis telethon.
I know all of you have questions for these women, so please raise your hands and shout out. Yes, sir, in the hand.
Yeah, just a quick comment. In the middle of our national whatever, thank you for making a film that makes me so proud to be an American.
I think I'm gonna cry.
Yes, the lady in the middle there. Yes. Yeah. You.
Two of my things were just stolen.
Okay. We all
And
feel the
also
same.
asked what we can do when we leave here, but thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Has the film been seen by any members of Congress yet? Are there plans for that?
Yeah, I think we're screening on Capitol Hill October 23rd.
For every representative to attend?
Yes, I will make sure that every single one.
Yes, right here in front.
Go ahead. Marissa, after you had your prosthetic legs or feet, what was the first pair of heels that you bought?
Let me repeat that for the audience who probably didn't hear that. So after you got your prosthetic feet, what was the first pair of heels that you bought?
Gosh, I honestly don't remember.
Bought them all.
To be 100% honest, I probably don't remember because it was all of the things. I got the insurance money from getting hurt, and as the second I got even the runways that allowed me to have 2.5-inch heels, I walked better in the heels than I did in the flats. And it was just, I was up and running from that point. And then from then on, it was like all of the pretty shoes.
What's your favorite pair of heels then?
What's your favorite pair of heels?
All of the pretty shoes.
Anything that has a sparkle.
Yes, with the blue, yeah.
Oh, great. Well, first of all, thank you for serving our country and keeping us alive. As women, I'm always thanking the men, you know. And my father was a lieutenant in the Marine. But what gave you the courage? I mean, I feel like a little chicken to even want to join, knowing that you might lose your life, your family, your kids, your home. I mean, as women, where did you get that strength? Courage.
So let me repeat that question so that people in the back can hear. Where did you get the strength and courage to join the military?
We were actually just discussing this at dinner, right?
Nicole, do you want to take a
For
step?
me, my courage came from two major people in my life. My daddy, because he told me it wasn't a woman's place and I was going to prove him wrong. But most of my courage, 99% of my courage, came from Kenneth Paul Hill. That's my son. And it came from wanting to provide a better life for him and wanting him to have a better life than what I had growing up. So that was my courage, was my children.
Thank you.
Hope, do you want to answer?
As it's said in the movie, from the things that you had seen, what it didn't state is I came from a really bad background as a child. So not everything was stated in there. I also came from a poor background, and I was a victim of child abuse. And way before I went in, I was still going down a bad road. So I chose to make a change in my life, and I joined the military because I wasn't going anywhere fast. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a change. So when I went in, I was like, I'm gonna do this, or I'm just gonna keep going down the wrong road. And I went in, and my mom was by my side when I went in, and so was my grandmother. And I went in, and everyone was like, you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna do this, and you're not even gonna pass boot camp. I would get messages and letters from my mom and my grandma all the time, like these little cards that would say, you're beautiful, like all those like spirited cards and everything. And I fought through boot camp, even though I never thought I was gonna make it. And the only thing that kept me going was saying, everyone that told me from day one, you will not make it, I was going to do it, because I knew that I needed to make it and get through it, and I stayed in for 11 years.
Marissa, why don't you also answer that question? What gave you the courage to sign up and join the military?
It's kind of a family thing, so it was kind of passed down. Both of my grandfathers served, a couple of uncles, my older brother. It had always been a thing that I had thought about doing, and then I decided I wanted a normal college kid life. And when the normal college kid life of going to class and doing homework turned into drinking and making bad decisions, I decided I needed to pull my head out of my fourth point of contact.
Our third point of contact.
Fourth. Parachute landing fall.
Sorry.
Right? Okay.
Sorry, I forgot.
I had to pull my head out of my ass and get my stuff together, and that's kind of why, that's exactly why I joined, and I chose to do what I did because I'm either gonna do it and I'm gonna do it all the way, or I'm not gonna do it at all. And so I had my choice of what I wanted to do, and I asked my recruiter what was gonna get me there as fast as I could, and he told me MP. So off to Baghdad I went.
Thank you, very inspiring.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
For Lysa, the director, my question to you is how many hours of footage you have to edit and go through? Talk about the structure and how you kept the emotions in certain level in order to don't to show too much suffering, pain, but also you kept the good sense of humor as well.
So the questions for Lysa is how many hours did you have to edit down, and how did you balance emotionally within the structure of the film, the sad moments, the funny moments, and talk a little bit about the crafts of the filmmaking.
Do I have to admit the hours thing? Like,
Yeah, tell us. Yeah.
Well, so I just want to preface the hours thing by saying that we did give, because I couldn't be in every city and town all the time, so we did give them their own video cameras. So all those hours, plus all the hidden camera footage and stuff like that, like, I don't know, total, 670 and between 670 and like 7.
But so talk about the editing of the film and balancing the kind of emotional storylines. You know, there's some very touching moments and some very funny moments, and it's a delicate balance.
Yeah, I had to get out of my own way, and I had to go through the process, and I had to fail. Thinking I knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't know how to execute it. And I thought I knew how to execute it, but I didn't. So I had to have this really painful learning experience where I thought I could do it, but I couldn't. So I had to bring in literally like editors that were like co-directors, and that's why I call them my co-directors, because they really took what I wanted to do and what was in my head, and they executed it for me. So I didn't actually direct the film, I know my name is on it, but my editors should be on it as well, because that was where it all happened.
Well, documentary is a collaborative process, and a lot happens in the edit room.
Oh, yeah.
With every film.
Yeah.
We have time for one more, so I'm going to ask this woman and this lady in the middle of the back row there. Yeah. Yes.
Lisa, I'm so proud of you.
Cindy! Hi, sweetie!
I have to tell you, this makes me want to cry. I'm so proud of you. This movie is something that everybody should see. I hope that this is on Oscar contention.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I'm up on my news, and I didn't know about this. I had no clue there were 50,000 homeless females out there. And you girls are such an inspiration. I can't tell you. I mean, as much as people like Lysa and I try to do, we don't compare to what you guys have done. So I salute you, and thank you so much for everything you've done for all of us.
So before I wrap this up, I want to thank the three of you. It's incredibly difficult to imagine what it's like to be followed around by a camera for most people, and it's incredibly intimidating. And you really allowed Lysa into your lives, and by that allowing all of us into your lives, and that makes a difference in the world. So I want to thank you, because you're doing a great service, not only through the service you have done, through your service supporting Final Salute, but now spreading that word out into the world. So thank you for that. Lysa, thank you for doing Before you go, where can people find out more information about screenings, broadcasts?
Our theatrical release is LA, New York, August 25th, San Francisco, Dallas, DC, August 30th. Is that correct? Yeah. And then like a Blu-ray thing, and Pat Benatar's gonna release her song, which you heard at the end of the film, so we're really excited, yeah. And Linda Perry has put together an amazing soundtrack with all these amazing artists, and 100% of the proceeds are gonna go to homeless female veterans. Oh, and yes, and then so May 28th, which, May 28th.
On PBS,
on PBS, on Independent Lens, Lois is amazing, like, they have been so amazing to work with, and I'm humbled.
And Google Served Like a Girl, and all of the social media will come up, so if you guys are interested to follow it, then that's where Facebook, I think there's an Instagram, and a Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't do all of
Washington,
those. Yes.
Washington, D.C. also?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, DC, we're opening, August 30th.
Thank you all for coming. Thank you for being here this evening.